They say in your darkest moment, you discover who people really are, but I never imagined that my parents would literally try to kill me in an ambulance to save money. What I'm about to tell you will shock you to your core. Hi, I'm Sophia, and this is the story of how I almost died twice in one day, once from pneumonia and once from my own family. It started when what I thought was a cold suddenly turned deadly. I collapsed in my kitchen, gasping for air, feeling like my lungs were filled with broken glass. My 11-year-old Liam and 7-year-old Sophie were at school, completely unaware their mother was fighting for her life. The paramedic Marco kept telling me to stay strong, that my kids needed me. But here's where the story takes a horrifying turn that still gives me nightmares. My parents, wealthy, respected pillars of our community, followed the ambulance in their silver Mercedes, but they weren't there out of concern. My mother Eleanor actually climbed into the ambulance and tried to remove my oxygen mask while I was dying. "She's being dramatic. Take it off," she said, grabbing the plastic tube keeping me alive. Marco had to physically block her. But it gets worse. My father Richard was calculating medical costs in real time, shouting, "If she's not going to make it, just let nature take its course. Stop wasting our money on theatrics." Can you imagine? Your own parents treating your life like a business expense while you're literally dying? While I was in a medically induced coma, they weren't calling to check on my recovery, they were calling their lawyer about liability if I died. Hospital security had to escort them out twice. My father screamed at doctors about unnecessary bed costs while I was on life support. When I woke up after 3 days, I discovered something that shattered my heart. They had filed for emergency custody of my children while I was unconscious, claiming I was an unfit mother. They weren't content with my near death. They wanted to take the only good things in my life. But here's what they didn't count on. Marco had been recording everything on his body camera. Every cruel word, every attempt to literally kill me to save money. I had a choice. Stay silent and apologize like I'd done for 28 years, or finally fight back. I discovered they had a pattern of abuse spanning decades, even stealing from my grandmother with dementia. What I did next changed everything. I exposed them publicly at the town's biggest charity event, in front of 500 people, while my father gave a speech about family values. The confrontation was live-streamed, and what happened next destroyed their world forever. You won't believe how this story ends or the justice that finally came. If you want to know the shocking truth about what happened that night and how I turned the tables on the people who tried to murder me, click the link below. Because sometimes, the people who should love you most are the ones trying to destroy you.